Cardano price continuing its dip, and in this video, I want to discuss two things. Why I'm not worried, and facts. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe and like on the way in. If you're a Cardano holder, I think you're going to like this video. If you're a Cardano hater, I think you might even like the video. So give it a like on the way in. Hit that subscribe. Cardano trading at $1.66. I appreciate all you coming by. This is like my first live stream in months, everybody, and it feels good. It feels good to be back. We're going to be making some huge changes. We're going through a huge move. There's going to be big changes to Crypto Capital Venture. I'm really excited about, including just the studio and everything we're doing here. Let's talk about Cardano, everybody. There's so much I want to cover. I have like 1,157 tabs open. So there's the chart, and we're going to dig into it. There's some extremely important things happening. You can see it. Trend line being broken, a bottom lower trend line being broken. And we're going to talk about the technical analysis aspect. If you want to go right to there, if you're a replay viewer, hit the timestamps. I'll put some timestamps. But like, let's take a step back, because I know there's a lot of people still talking about this. This is the eToro delisting. I tweeted this yesterday. I said, let me get this straight. Cardano just got listed on a major crypto exchange, Bitstamp. That does, I said 513 billion. It's like million, not billion. And all I'm seeing is negative news about Cardano getting delisted from a small exchange, eToro, which does around 60 million, not billion. So it's kind of still news out there. Everybody's talking about it in the comments. I think I even just saw it in the comments in this chat. Want to touch on it real quick. Keep in mind that eToro has, I think it's 14 stake pools for Cardano. So their decision to do whatever they're doing probably revolves around that, right? And who knows what they're thinking? Who knows what they're doing? But again, look at the contrast between Bitstamp, which just listed Cardano, and eToro. That's first things first. I wanted to get that out of the way. Now I want to pivot, and that's some data we should pay attention to, right? You know, it's more liquidity with Bitstamp. I want to look at this. This is really the foundation of this video. Here's one piece of Cardano data to pay attention to. And this is it. This isn't my opinion or anything. This is just Cardano thus far. So for 2021, Bitcoin is up 94%. Ethereum is up 476%. Cardano is up 827%. It's not that there's actually something wrong with ADA. It's just that data and facts are mostly ignored when it comes to Cardano. It continues to be the case, everybody. And real quick, this is charted. This is Bitcoin for the year. So all the way back here is the beginning of the year. Bitcoin up 94%. Right there, you see it. It's up 94%. Here's Ethereum for the year. You can see it. Ethereum up 476, maybe a little bit higher, 480%. And Cardano up right around 827%. So let's zoom out first. Let's get full context to the story. And Cardano has been in these trading sideways patterns, but don't forget, on the macro, and just for 2021 alone, Cardano has been an outperformer. It's been just this powerful crypto, and it's a top crypto still. So though Cardano has kind of been stagnant, and it's not the first time, once again, we've been here before, from the all-time high in May, this dip right here, we were kind of getting the same vibes, the same hate. And this even looks a little bit worse than actually this most previous all-time high to where we are dip, right? This kind of looks worse, but it was the same story then, and here we are once again. And I do this video with kind of the same exact just belief in the fact that Cardano is extremely bullish on the macro against all cryptos. I really do. The ecosystem that's being built is absolutely insane. And if you really get the full context of what's going on here, there's literally nothing wrong with Cardano. Now, let's kind of dig deeper into this. This is where kind of the technical analysis aspect comes into play, because this is important. Like, this is literally the basis of my YouTube channel and a really big part of Cardano. Now, I tweeted this yesterday. I said some people are talking about selling their ADA, and I'm sitting here finally thinking about heavily accumulating for the first time in a long time. So I want to talk about that because it's been a while since I have heavily accumulated Cardano, right? And we just looked at the weekly chart, or actually this is the 6 hour. This is the 6 hour chart. Where's the weekly chart? Here is the weekly chart. So it's just been gains and gains through all these hard forks. We've just been seeing gains, and here we're in the middle of this dip, but it's been a while since I really have heavily accumulated Cardano. And I want to talk about why this is important. And it's mainly because ADA is kind of entering this zone that it hasn't been in a while. And it's an opportunity zone, at least for me. This is, and this is just my approach to Bitcoin, to crypto in general, through all cycles. When we enter these technical areas, these technical analysis areas, my buying fingers, and I've mentioned this before, it's been probably a while since I've talked about my buying fingers and just exercising and stretching my buying fingers. They're getting loosened up, everybody. And this is why. If you look at Cardano, it's kind of been, we have this, and we've talked about this consolidation area on the weekly, mainly pertaining to these hard forks. The Shelly hard fork into consolidation. Here's what it looks like on the momentum oscillator, the RSI, right there. We have the Mary hard fork into consolidation. Here's what it looks like on the RSI, the momentum oscillator. And then we have the Alonzo hard fork, smart contracts into consolidation, which is where we are. Here's what it looks like on the momentum oscillator. This trend line, broken. We didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see a nice just kind of reflection of the previous two hard forks, post hard fork consolidation. But right now, that trend line right there being broken a little bit. But those breaks on the macro charts, and this is a weekly, that's where the opportunity begins. That's where, not even just Cardano, this is literally where any crypto, when this happens, you enter this environment of fear, you enter this environment of bearishness. That's where the opportunity, you have to start raising your eyebrow and start saying, okay, things are getting uncomfortable. It's getting fearful. It's more uncomfortable to buy in an environment like this than it is when we're on our way to all-time high. That's just like human nature, human emotion, but it's where you need to really start. And this is not financial advice. I should have prefaced the video with this. This is not financial advice, everybody. This is me really just talking to myself. This is my approach to crypto. I'm just recording it and sharing it with you and kind of going through all this with you. But you have Cardano entering kind of this oversold area, and we looked at the oversold area on the stock RSI down here, the quicker moving momentum oscillator, and we evaluated what happened previous times when it was down this low. And that's where we are. It doesn't mean we're getting an immediate bounce. It's not like Cardano's going to moon from here just because we're in that same vicinity. It could be weeks down here. However, we've entered, in my opinion, the opportunity zone. And with that technical analysis, and we're going to dig deeper into it, don't forget, Cardano still an outperformer for 2021. And I don't say this to badmouth or talk trash on Ethereum or Bitcoin. I want everybody to win in this space. But there is so much hate and negativity about Cardano right now. It's absolutely crazy to see it when there's no context. There's no full context or facts taken into account surrounding Cardano and everything going on. So now let's dig deeper into the charts. Here's the daily chart, kind of the same type of story, but on the slower moving momentum oscillator, the RSI right here, this blue momentum oscillator, approaching this oversold area. Look what happened last time it approached this oversold area, previous times. Here's back in July 2021. Look what happened there. Here's back in September 2020. Here's back in March 2020. Look what happened each time. Each time a stepping stone. Each time this was an opportunity zone. How much lower will it go? It could go lower. It really could. But right now we've entered an opportunity zone. And with everything going on in the Cardano ecosystem, I've remained bullish for so long on Cardano. I'm still straight up, I'm just sitting here bullish, everybody. If I wasn't, you know, and if I wasn't bullish on Cardano and I'm having like just maybe I'm going out with to lunch with my buddy and we're talking about Cardano like we always do, and I'm just like having doubts and I'm just kind of sitting there like, dude, I think it's time to pivot away. If I was in that zone or that mindset, I would do videos about it. It's literally why I'm here. I'm not here to just talk about Cardano for the fun of it. I'm not a shill. I'm not being paid by IOHK or Cardano Foundation to do these videos. I'm not. This is just where I am. This is my mindset. And I'm telling you, I truly think the opportunity is absolutely insane. And the fact that there's so much hate, the fact that so many people aren't paying attention, we're talking about big content creators too. And we're talking about big organizations, right? Big investment organizations not paying attention. It just makes me that much more bullish because Cardano is going to continue to deliver. Though some people are not happy with time frames, it's just going to keep delivering, and the ecosystem going to keep growing as it is, and many people aren't even realizing it. So let's dig in now to this. This is the move. This is the chart, and I have been buying lightly some Cardano and COTI as well. The heavy buy zone hasn't really occurred for me yet, but I'm going to talk about that. And I just want to take a really quick look at this clip from November 3rd. This is weeks ago. Check it out. This descending triangle has a breakout target to the downside in the $1.30 to $1.40 range. So we have cryptos that have just been kind of doing work, right? But eventually you want it to be ADA's turn. I want it to be ADA's turn, because if it's not, and then we fall into this 1, 2, 3 week worth of downtrend, ADA's likely going to be on that ride with the rest of crypto, and this target becomes more likely scenario. But right, so let's just throw that out there. And I'm not, patting myself on the back at all, because number one, I didn't want a move to the downside like this. But number two, we've been talking about the $1.30 to $1.40 target for how long, everybody? If you've been watching this YouTube channel, it's just been a 100% realistic target. It's been a target that I've had absolutely no fear of. It's just sitting there on the charts. It's a possibility. And we've talked about it for a while now. And look at the charts now. So we're sitting at $1.67. We just wicked down to around $1.59. There is the descending triangle in yellow. We were just talking about the $1.90 to $2 support for a while, and it broke that support. It broke the lower trend line November 15th, right around November 15th. We retested that lower trend line area. It became resistance, and we got to push down. Now we also have this falling wedge in play that we started talking about. Target for that to the downside 120. Doesn't scare me at all either, everybody. But in that video, I was discussing if crypto enters kind of this new midterm dip, these targets are even more likely. And the whole purpose of technical analysis is very simple. It's just to prepare. That's all. I'm not sitting here. I don't do videos trying to predict. I sit here trying to prepare. Because for me, when we start looking at the daily oscillator approaching the oversold that it's been in the previous 3 times has marked kind of a pretty macro bottom, right? A higher low. We're approaching that area, and we're approaching potentially a kind of a capitulation environment if Cardano hits these targets. It's so important for me to be prepared for that, not only mentally. And so I'm not just like, what is going on with Cardano, but also just so that I can accumulate, right? And get more Cardano before the next leg up type of deal, right? So that's why it's important. And this is what the charts look like. Now, in regards to these charts, we obviously have the targets to downside we've talked about. We have that falling wedge there. Want to point something out. We did get the break, and you can really see, on the 6 hour at least, there's kind of a break below that lower trend line. According to the patternsite.com, Bukowski, I use so much of his data. It's so relevant. We adjust some things for crypto because crypto is very volatile, and his data is not really, I don't believe, based on crypto at all. But in terms of falling wedges, we have a 74% pullback rate. What a pullback is we're getting a break to the downside and we get a pullback to the apex area, the lower trend line area of the pattern. And so right now on the 6-hour candle, you can see potentially this actually could be in play already. It's something we'd want to track regardless, even if we get a little bit more downside, this type of scenario. But right now, even on the 6-hour chart, there's still 2 hours left of the 6-hour candle, potentially getting the wick coming back up into this apex area. We want to see what happens, right? We're always looking for, hey, can there be a bullish reversal? That would be what it looks like. A pullback to the lower trend line, into the $70s, and really into the apex of the falling wedge. Now, with that being said, an additional kind of bullish confirmation area, and we always do this as we're just getting these lower highs, is we mark a Fibonacci lower high resistance. And you can see it's actually kind of very confluent with the trend line that you see here extending out. That's the upper trend line of the descending triangle, also the upper trend line of the falling wedge. And you can just see right now, 618 right around $1.81 to this 786 around $1.88, $1.87. That's the area where we really want to see Cardano make a move to before we start kind of getting a little bit short to midterm bullish. Like, hey, there could be some bullish confirmation here, but we're not even there yet. We're actually below the lower trend line of everything, right? With targets to the downside, $1.30, $1.40 for the descending triangle, and $1.20 range for the falling wedge. Be prepared for it, everybody. I don't know what else to say. I was saying be prepared for the descending triangle target to the downside back weeks ago because we want to be prepared for it. But again, you got to zoom out. I got to zoom out. I got to remind myself what's going on here. I got to remind myself when we're looking at crypto in general for the year, Bitcoin's up 94%, Ethereum's up 470 some percent, Cardano's up over 800%. So Cardano gave us ridiculous gains for the year. So if it's cooling off, if it's consolidating and dipping, a little bit more volatile than other top cryptos, it just is what it is. It's normal. And for me, I'm patient, and I'm not the type of person that's in crypto chasing these quick gains. You don't see me kind of talking about all these altcoins that can 100x, right? That's not what this YouTube channel is. There's a ton of YouTube channels that do that. I'm not one of them. I have a long game. I will say this though, and this gets me so excited about Cardano, is Cardano ecosystem, the Cardano platform literally is being built for all these new altcoins that are going to get ready to potentially explode, where we're going to see, who knows, 50x gains. Don't want to say 100x, just even though it's probably possible. That's too hype. It's too much hype. So, and if you're in the live chat right now, click or comment your favorite upcoming altcoins or altcoins that are kind of already live. Comment. I want to see what you're all feeling out there, because I'm telling you, I just don't know how else to say it. Cardano is extremely ripe with opportunity. The Plutus application backend getting ready to be ready. If you can have some patience, right? The haters will use that because it's not ready yet. But once developers can interact with smart contracts, it's game on, everybody. And once we start seeing these projects really start deploying on Cardano, it's game on. So I tweeted this just a little bit ago, this news that came out. SundaeSwap is partnering with COTI, the issuer of JED, the decentralized algorithmic stablecoin that's going to completely change the game through transaction cost predictability. Imagine that, transaction cost predictability. Again, no hate on Ethereum, but there's a big problem over there on Ethereum, right? Are you getting transaction cost predictability there? Absolutely not. You will here on Cardano. SundaeSwap is going to be massive, and I just bought more COTI. So, and here's the tweet from COTI. We're excited to announce a partnership with SundaeSwap Labs to explore ways to implement the JED stablecoin, the first stablecoin on Cardano, with the SundaeSwap decentralized exchange. It doesn't get any more bullish. Here are two very just powerful projects, right? That are building alongside Cardano, the JED stablecoin, which is going to change the game. And there are so many other projects like it, right? So, and I'm not even really, I'm just like scratching the surface here with everything, everybody. I'm not trying to make this a terribly long video. And by the way, hit that like if you're in that live chat right now. We got over 2,000. It's been a while. It's been some months since I did a live stream. So I appreciate you coming over, hanging out. Hit that like if you're in there. Hit that like if you're bullish on Cardano. But it's just getting started. It really is just getting started. But when we put it all, and again, like I was saying, I'm just scratching the surface. And when we put everything together and we talk about what Cardano is building, already has taken the first step towards on-chain governance with Project Catalyst, right? COTI being involved with that as well, and scalability on the horizon, right? It's just too good of opportunity, in my opinion, and this is why I have the YouTube channel to talk about it. In the same way that I go out with my buddy and we talk about Cardano. It's why I have the channel. I want to start bringing on other people in the ecosystem, content creators. I just want to start having some more candid chats. We do a lot of technical analysis, going to continue doing that. But I really want to have some candid chats in regards to all the crazy cool projects, everything going on in Cardano, because we're ground floor, everybody. I talk about approaching crypto with like a VC mindset, early stage type of mindset. And Cardano is just not only relating to ADA, but all the projects being built. It's just so ripe with it. So somebody says ADA is a stone again. You're too funny. You got to have some patience out there, everybody. You really do. So let me see if I can. Here's a good one. Darren says it's getting boring. It's getting boring now. And I want to speak to that. Let's speak to it for a second, right? And because this is when I'm looking at charts, it's like I think of these comments that I get, and no hate on Darren, by the way. It actually is boring. But I just want to remind you, let's go to a daily chart. It's been boring before, right? And this is what I'm talking about. It's been boring before. It's been boring back here before. And actually, each time it gets boring, I'm telling you, it seems like after these hard forks, here's Alonzo, here's Mary. I keep talking about it, but it just seems like it's the case. Here's Shelly. It gets boring. But if the data on the screen is saying, hey, every time it's gotten boring before, that was when opportunity was the highest. That is when you should probably prepare the most. Wouldn't you kind of pay attention to that and not get so bored, but get kind of like excited? I mean, that's kind of how I approach it. That's kind of the way that I think about it. So that's where my head's at. Just joined CCV1. Appreciate it, everybody. Talking about projects, SundaeSwap, everybody. And I was just at my neighbor's. He's in Cardano now. He's been in Cardano. Was just at my neighbor's house last night. We're talking about SundaeSwap. I'm telling him, listen, get ready for SundaeSwap. And I could be wrong, but it's probably besides Cardano and COTI, because I'm really bullish on COTI. SundaeSwap is that thing for me where I'm just like, man, like there's so much opportunity. I feel like the project's going to explode. I really do. I feel like it's going to be such a big part of the Cardano ecosystem. And thankfully, I'm grateful to all of you out there that voted. We came in 5th with over 3,000 votes. So and this says CCV, but it's all of our pools. If you want to take part in the SundaeSwap ISO, it's going to be a 5 epoch ISO distribution time window where they distribute their SundaeSwap tokens. It's nobody knows the date just yet. We're waiting on runtime verification. We're waiting for the audits. That's what they're doing. We're waiting, everybody. Nobody knows. But if you want to take part in that, stake with CCV Pool. And I just also want to thank you if you've been watching these videos. Here's our pools. We really cooled down. Here's the CCV pool sitting at 63 million ADA. We cooled down, and you guys have really helped pivot some of the ADA to these other pools. Here's CCV1, here's CCV2, here's CCV3. We're just trying to level these out. As you know, CCV down here approaching saturation. And as probably as CCV2 crosses over 30 million, we're probably going to have to open up another CCV pool to really distribute these. We don't know when K parameter will change. If it will change, but it's likely it probably will. And I just don't want to have saturated pools. I really don't. That's not going to help anybody. So I'm trying to very cautiously prepare for that at a fair and conservative speed. So I think if we get over 30 here, especially once that SundaeSwap ISO starts, these pools might fill up even more. So I just appreciate all your support, though, as it's such a new thing, and trying to balance it all is a little tough sometimes. But I appreciate all your support in doing so. But I'm telling you, if you want to take part in the ISO, stake with a CCV pool. CCV1 or CCV2 would be most greatly appreciated. And here we are on the Cardano charts, $1.66 on the 6 hour. You know what we're looking out for, everybody. We want to see a pullback to the falling wedge apex, to the lower trendline area. Will it happen? Can't sit here and tell you if it will or will not. This is short-term stuff. We know the targets to the downside. We've been talking about the targets to the downside for a while. And the reason we talk about it is so we can be prepared for it. And if you're new in this live stream, just once again, a reminder, look at the data, look at the facts. Cardano's up over 800% for the year. Is it cooling down a little bit more? Is it a little bit more volatile, a little bit more boring? Yes. And this is only one piece of the facts, only one piece of the data. Everything else going on behind the tech, the infrastructure of it all, I think just requires some patience, everybody. So that's it. Those are my thoughts for the day for Cardano. I have a crazy busy day today. Going to be traveling once again, and I'll try and continue to update everybody on, Cardano charts, obviously, and everything going on in the ecosystem. I have a Bitcoin video I really want to do because there's some really interesting on-chain metrics I want to talk about. It's tough with time. So hit the subscribe, everybody. If you're not a subscriber, yes, it is okay to stake in CCV3. If that's what you prefer, you can do that. I just saw a question. Hit that subscribe, everybody. Hit that like on the way out. It really means a lot to me. Get some traction with this Cardano video. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Cardano can make a move to the upside, at least test resistance, let alone break it. Time will tell. Have an awesome day. God bless.